Welcome back, guys. So, as you know, we're working on a project which is a React Advanced Frontend project. So yeah, if you're interested in that, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment if you want to see me make 607 years. And yeah, let's see what we're creating. So I'm gonna show you. Um, okay, this is what we're creating, and this is actually a Framer website where we're trying to make this in React.js or Next.js specifically. So yeah, this is how it looks like, right? So when things hit like the maybe the 30% mark, right? Like 30% mark, then is when the things are gonna appear. So you have a lot of do. We're currently at this point. So yeah, there's still a lot to do, like 10 sections, but the sections gets easier over time because some of them are duplicates. So yeah, that's basically the front end. So yeah, let's work on it. Let me press Control B, and actually you guys are going to see what I'm pressing. I think that it's very obvious. Okay, how to toggle the hotkeys overlay in VS Code. Okay, no, uh, not this one, not exactly. VS Code that I'm pressing. Uh, okay. Okay, screen reader mode. Okay, so let's put on screen reader mode so you guys can see what I'm using. So Shift Control P, screencast mode. I think it's this one. Let me see. Yeah. So let's just make it a little bit, and then you guys can see what keystrokes I'm using. So yeah, this is what we're creating. We're currently at the stage of here, and we're trying to put the circle, but this one is actually circled more in a certain position. We are not going to do that. We're gonna create our own. So I'm gonna show you. So yeah, we did a lot already. So yeah, we're trying to put this one inside of this container, this SVG. So yeah, let's work on that. Um, let's see where it actually is. Okay, there's this SVG. Okay, I want to see what happens if I'm not using that one. Control S. Okay, okay, that doesn't really matter. Okay, no worries. Okay, so what I want to do with this SVG, mm, I want to put it between something. It's behind the text, and the text is set 10, so we could say that this is like a Z of 5, a Z index. Let's see. Okay, so it's behind the text. That's what we've seen, but it's not behind the stuff here. And actually, I want to adjust it a little bit more with the visibility. So let's see. We have opacity 30 here, and we do Control Alt click. Let's make this 20%. Save. Let's see how it looks. Okay. I think we can even do one more. Okay. More like this. Maybe a little bit in between. I would say that it's maybe 13%. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so now we have a certain positioning here. We say top minus 40. Let's do minus 30 and let's see how it looks like. Okay, so it's more this way. And I've left 70 and let's make that 60. And it comes across here. I'm satisfied with that result. Now we have to put it inside and let's see how we can do that. Let's actually do a Z of 0. Okay, that doesn't do anything. Let's actually close this one and put it here. I think that's better. Instead of going 2 screens, we go 1 screen. What should we do about it, to be honest? Let's actually see the real result here. I think that's best for you guys as well. Let's go a little bit to the end and scroll up. Okay, something like this. I think it can even be 50% to be honest. Yeah, something like this. Okay, let's see how we can consume that. Because it's on top of everything. Maybe we can use like an inset or something. Let's see. Nah, that is not gonna work. How about the inset of 0? How does it feel like? No, it doesn't feel like it. Let's think about another solution then. It's on top of everything. What if I say I'm gonna do minus 20? What will happen? Okay, it disappears. So there's definitely some hierarchy going on. So let's do minus 10. Let's see what brings. Okay, let's do 0 or 1. Let's see what happens. Okay, then it's on top of this one. Let's do 0. Okay, let's do minus 1. Okay, so we have an issue here. I will tell you what the issue is so you guys can understand. So basically, we have a certain layer positioning in the Z indexes, so what comes in front. And both the background comes in front, but it should target only this one. So let me see what we can do about the top one, which is the whole container. And let's see if we can do a set of 1. Let's see what happens. Okay. And then I want to put the first call. Let me see which one that is. There's actually another call here that we need to work on. Okay. Let's put this on position 2. Oh, we put the insert ones. Okay, insert mode is off. Okay. And then we can go back to the SVG and let's say 3. Oh, sorry, I mean 2 or 1 actually. Put 1. Okay, that doesn't work. So that is an issue. Okay, then in that case, I'm gonna think about it later and we're gonna continue where we left off. So let's put all these set indexes back. Let's see. Okay, it seems that this one is still in front. We don't want that. Let's see. Let's do one more time. I think we can fix it like this, maybe. Not gonna work out. Okay, let it go. Let's work on the other stuff. Let's work on these ones, which are two of them blocks. I want to see what the height actually is of this one. Position, relative, flow hidden. What it is will change, yeah. I'm gonna actually ask the AI if something like this exists. Um, I'm gonna ask is will change transform exist in Tailwind? Okay. Just arbitrary values. Hmm. Okay. How about Tailwind version 4? Just wanna know. No configuration needed. Okay. Let me make sure that I write this down for later. Control B to open up the navigation. There's a certain log here that I have. Control P. Okay, log. I don't see it. We don't have one. Let me see. Library interface. I don't see it. We don't have one. That's pretty concerning. Let's put it here. Doesn't matter. Okay. Because we're not going to use any keys. So, okay, let's focus on this one. Let's see what kind of what we have here. Hide 1 pixel. What do you mean? Okay, let's go. I cannot exactly figure out what the height here is. Maybe it's. Oh, I see what it is. Um, the height is 228 of this one plus 80. Okay. Okay, let's make this blocks. I think that it's time. So let's go here and let's work on it. Mm, we have a call start 4 and a call start 5. Okay. Oh, that's not useful. Okay, we have two calls. Did we do that right? Let me see. Grid calls for. So let's go to the grid actually and let's see how we set it up specifically. Okay, so we have a grid here. So 4 till 6 is what we have. Okay, I think we can remove the fifth one in that case. Let's save that and let's see. So we have 5 here. And this one, I want to have 2 blocks. So I could say I make a grid in itself, or I make an advanced grid from the grid that we currently have. But we don't have a double span, so we double click, so that's not possible. So it's best to use a flex here. Okay, so we're gonna do a flex call, and let's put 2 items in it. Let's make a data attribute. It's called data grid fabrica block 4. Let's shift alt and let's do 5. Okay, and let's get some classes that we currently had. So let's grab this one, which is pretty much the same of both of them. We have to work on the height. So I'm not currently what the height is. It was 228 for each. So we're gonna open up a double cursor, which is alt click with the mouse. Hey Preet, how are you doing? We are making um, an advanced front end. Okay, that doesn't seem to fit, to be honest. 288, and let's put a gap, and the gap is gonna be in the y direction, and it's gonna be 2, so we can clearly see the gap. Okay, so we have a gap here, and the heights do not match up, so we have to work on that. What if we say both is 300? I think that's the best case scenario here. Okay, so we have 300 here, but we have a certain gap that we have to account for. So if one gap is this one, so we can say 296, and then we're seeing a gap y of 2, and that should fit the entire, yeah, that fits, right? You can see it. Okay, great. Now this gap is a little bit too big. It's not necessary now, but we're going to change it later. So we're going to work on this part, which is 100 in the middle, this circle here, and the page speed score. So let's work on that, which is the first div. So we have a div. We have 2 times a text. One is bigger than the other. Let me see how we can solve this problem. It seems that this one is the same as this size, and this one is the same as this size. Okay, so let's see what we have here in Fabrica. We don't estimate. Okay, so we're gonna find that in our program. We don't estimate, so that's here. And this is the p tag that we need. Now we're gonna go back where we were. I think it's line 200 something. Okay, that doesn't, it's not that big. Okay, we're almost here. So that is the first P, or the second P. No, it's the first one. Okay, so let's finish this one. Okay, and let's see what kind of text that is. It's called page speed score. Page speed score. Okay. Now we need a little bit of a smaller text, which is the same as this text. Wait, okay, let's look it up. UI, UX, UX, okay, UI, UX, okay. How's it exactly? Okay, UX, okay, UX, UI. Okay, so we need this span. And let's go back to the line where we were, which is 180. And let's put that here. And there's certain text, which is reprioritize performance without sacrificing visual appeal and functionality. Okay, spaced out. Awesome. Now, of course, this is now two things, and these two things, I only have defined a flex and a flex call, but I haven't defined if these ones are together or the other ones. We're gonna do that now. Let's do that now. Okay. I think that's the best for all. So let's open this one. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Now we did not center this, so let's actually center this. Items.center. Oh, let's capital letters. Items.center. Let's see. And let's do text center. Okay. And it seems that the span has a little bit of a how do you call it? A little bit of a spacing. Let's see why that is. Because it's a span, let's make it a P. Does that makes it better. And we wanna put a breakpoint after the without. And then it looks pretty similar, but there's a certain gap that we need to adhere. So I think the best here is to have either a leading. So let's do leading the one. Leading basically means the line height. Okay, that is a little bit too much. Okay, what options do we have? How about normal? Okay, normal. It can be more loose then. Okay, relaxed. I'm satisfied with this one. Okay, and let's work on this circle. Um, Let me think what we're gonna do about this. I think it's best that we create a span. So let's make this a span. We're gonna do a background of white. We're gonna type 100 just in the middle so you can see it, right? I think for this reason I'm gonna make it another background until we have the appropriate height. So let's make this the color. Okay, and let's adjust the width and height. So I think the width and height is maybe 150 pixels. I'm not sure. Let's see. Yeah, okay, and let's make the height also 150 pixels. I'm just gonna try something until we get somewhere close. Right? Okay. Awesome. Text center. Okay. Um, we need to do vertical lining soon. I think I'm gonna leave it as is for that now. Let's do rounded full. Okay, we have a circle. Is it as big? No, it's smaller. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make this one 120 and we're gonna put it in a border. So we're gonna say border. Let's do border Okay, that's a lot of options. So let's do border gray so we can clearly see it. And we're gonna do border 8. Let's see how it looks. Okay, so mine is bigger, maybe even 60. I'm not sure if it exists. Yeah, okay. Then we have to make this a little bit larger. Okay, let's see how it looks. Okay, I think that is approximately the height. Not sure about what the color is doing here, but that's fine. Let's make this background white. And let's make this, instead of gray, stone. Okay, so there's a border issue here. Border stone. Okay, and that can be way lighter. I think maybe 200 even. Okay, we're getting closer, right? The thickness is good, but the width and height can be adjusted. So let's do that. And I think the color can even be more faded. I think it's in between. I'm not sure if this is allowed. So I will say 200 with 50% visibility. I think maybe 70 visibility will do. Okay, pretty secure, right? So now we have goal. We still say items center. Okay, and let's see. Justify center. Okay, that doesn't respond. It should though. Let me see. That is because this one needs to be on the second line. Okay. We. Okay. We have a couple of double things. Okay. Justify between. Okay. Let's work on the gap. So the gap x is going to be 4. Let's see. Okay, that's not necessarily working how I wanted it. Let's make this flex though. Okay. Oh, not here. Flex call. Yeah. Okay, something like this. Mm, let me think about it for a second. Do we have item center? We do have that. Mm, let's put a clear gap in the y direction. Okay, almost. Pretty interesting. I think we have a mistake here. How are you, David? How are you doing, brother? Um, Okay. And we want to put the 100, so let's work on the text. I think text is 18 pixels. I would say even 22. Yeah, and let's make this font semi-bold. Font semi-bold. Okay, now we have to put this in the middle. We do have text center here. I think it's best to wrap this around a P. So and then I think we can do something like this. Doesn't respond really. We can do a transform. It's not a big deal. Let's check it out. We can do a flex, which is completely unnecessary. So we can, yeah, we can do that. So relative. Uh, yeah, okay. We do relative here. We do absolute, absolute. Okay, good. Top 0, left 0, and then translate y, and then we do the same for the x-axis. So that should solve the problem. Let's see. That is the issue. We have an issue here because it's okay. It is centered actually, but there's a problem. The problem is that because it's a circle, right? Mm, I think this is a good question for ChatGPT. I don't want to bother with it. I've been coding for quite a while. Um, uh, Centered. Why? Let me see. Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that. Uh, yeah, makes sense. Okay. And that fucks it up. Hmm. Give me a second. Let me think what it said. Let me read again. Oh, minus translate. Okay. Minus. Okay. Usually I do this in CSS, so okay, got it. Right? There's a certain tracking going on, so let's get the tracking right. This is the tracking. Okay. Okay, great. So that looks pretty close to this one. Let's work on the other one. So let's see what's going on. It seems that this one is on top of the other, but let's actually double check that. So, okay. Yeah, so this one is behind the graph. That's what it's saying. Let me see if I can find some okay, I have to make this myself, that's fine. Okay, let's make this. And then we can start on this part. So yeah. Um, Let me drink some water. It's pretty hot here, so that's true. That is low voice. Yeah, that's on purpose. Um, let's work on the other one. 38K. Let me see if I used it before somewhere, so I can measure the kind of. Okay, I've used it here in a white QSL, so let's see what it's all about. Um, so it's int h2. Is that correct? Let's go down. Does the other one looks bigger? No, it's the same. Yeah, it's the same. That's some beautiful website design. Thank you so much, brother. We're working very hard. It's a bit complicated as well. I do not recommend to make this. So now you know. Okay. The first one. So the first one is 38K plus the 30% button and quarterly visits. Okay, so we have, I would say, two divs. Okay, so div with this one. Let's import that. Have you managed to get paid with one of these beauties? Usually customers do not want to want to have this beautiful kind of page because it costs a lot of money, for like 4 or 5 thousand. Maybe people in America wants this, but this is just for resume purposes. So yeah, okay, 38K. But yeah, we made some client work. How about you? And yes, there is money to be made with this skill. Okay, let's create a button. I think we already have some kind of button. Let me see. Yeah, we do have that with the live website. So let's see. Live website with the button. Okay, let's go to line 200. I think this is best. And we're gonna say 30%. Okay, we don't see it plus 30%. We don't see it yet because we have text white. Let's make this text black. And we don't have a border. So let's remove the border and let's do the background. It's gonna be stone 400. Let's see how it looks. Okay, now let's work on the not on the width. Let's work on the height. Okay, so that's even smaller. There's a certain padding that we have here, which is padding X. That could actually be padding 6. So that's very small, right? There's no boldness. Let me see what you say. I mean, I'm confused. Done till HTML, CSS, JavaScript gonna be how I feel. No, not necessarily. It depends on how you learn it, right? So everyone is different. And what is your goal? You know, if you tell me your goal, I can maybe help you out. You know. So let me see. I do want to have a font semi-bold. Okay. Okay. And I said stone 400. Why is it so dark? Let's do half of that. Okay, I think it's the same as the other one that we had. Um, this one, border stone. Let's remove the border here. to get paid as fast as possible. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you wanna get paid for websites, the best way to do it right now, in my opinion, right? This is my opinion, is to do WordPress. Found it. Okay. Okay, margin left. Let's remove the margin left. Okay, and I want this to be next to each other, so let's do flex. Okay, and let's do items center. Yeah, and let's do, yeah, and the center. Now we're gonna do here a margin left of 20 pixels. Let's see how it looks. A little bit too much, I would say. Yeah, definitely. Let's do like 12. Yes, do you want to help with that? I can help you. Let me help you out. Let me see what his name was. Uh, WordPress, YouTube, LMS, I think. Let me see what the guy is. He's a pro. Yeah, this is the guy. Not sure if it's gonna go. If you wanna learn how to create your. So he's called Najer Saik. I'm gonna copy this to you so you can check it out, right? If you can make this kinds of website, you can find clients. Then you make a profile and then you're all good to go. Alright, give me a second. Make sure to subscribe though. Because if you're gonna click on it, I'm never gonna see you back. Would appreciate. Alright, okay. I would say the height is a little bit too big, to be honest. Let's make this like 26. Let's see. Okay, it looks more decent. Okay. No worries, brother. I got you. Right? Okay. Um, I would say it's the same text as this one. Um, so this is immediately after the 30%. Let me see how it's called. Quarterly visits. Okay. So we want to put that below. I'm just gonna be mean here. It's actually not best practices. Let me see. Maybe I can say block. Maybe. No. Okay, it doesn't work. I really need to put it down. Okay, so this needs to be outside. That's fine. Uh, Rather ill. Okay, let's put this one. This will easier to do. Nah, we don't want to have that. Okay. Mm. Let me think about it. Okay. Um, okay. I think. Okay. Yeah, I know what to do. Give me a second. So we have this div here, and we say flex item center of this particular part. And let's see which this one is, which is this one. And we want to keep it here. So one of the ways to do that, to have it not next to that one, is to separate concerns here. So I'm gonna say, think this is the solution. Mm, but it fucks up the other one. Why? Why? Okay, something like this. And this P has too much spacing below. Is that because of the PY9? Let's see. It does not, I think. Okay, let's see what the spacing is here. I'm not sure. Okay, I see that it comes from the this one. Why? Gap 0. P0. Margin 0. I'm not sure what it is. Let's see. What the hell? How is there spacing? Maybe because of the item center? That shouldn't be though. No, it's not that one. Maybe because of the diff, maybe? That doesn't solve the problem. Okay, there's another solution for this. Um, Not my favorite solution, but it's fine. Okay. Not sure why the spacing there is, but we don't have time to think about it, so. Okay. How about that? Okay, so let me see what it was again. So we are here. And let me see which one is behind. It seems that there's no hierarchy for it. Okay, it is a grid though. Hmm. I really don't want to make this myself. So I'm gonna let ChatGPT make this one. I think that's a good waste of time. So, okay, let's make a new chat. Create this with HTML and Tailwind. It must be inside a grid. Okay. Okay, let me see what we have here. Okay, here we have the div. Okay, let's see what this looks like. So we said here flex call. So which one is this? Okay, so it's after this one. And I'm gonna say graph so I know where it is. Okay, we have a lot of things here we need to delete. Okay, it's the first one. Multi-cursor is alt-click, so if you guys don't know, now you know. Okay, let's click all these classes here. Okay, this is going to be class name. Okay, couple more. Alt-click, alt-click, alt-click. Okay. Let's see. Not bad. We have to work on the thickness. We have to work on the alignment of the text. So I think it's best to work on alignment of the text first because the text decides the width. Um, yeah. Uh, yeah, let's do that. Let me see, go to the documentation of Tailwind. Let me see how we can vertical text. Use the align text top to vertical align. Okay, let me see. Okay, not really what I'm looking for here. Okay, I don't can find it. Vertical text. How? Yeah, we can use transform. Sure. Let's use transform. Let's see how it responds. That does it for the entire thing. Um, okay, so each of them needs a P. So let's assume we will do this one. Oh, Okay. Okay, that doesn't respond. It should. Let's see. Okay, that works. Now we have a problem here, and yeah, let's do it for all. So let's see. It's gonna be 1.5K. Okay. Which one was it? Okay. 1.1K. Okay. 1.3K. And 1K. Okay. 1K. Okay, so now we have them vertically stacked. Let's look at the width of each. And there's also a certain gap that we need to work on. I see. So let's work on a gap first with the grid. So gap x4, let's see. Needs more, I think. Yeah, maybe even double. I would say gap is 10. Yeah. Okay. And the text is in the center. I see. We wanna say item start. Let's see how that looks. Oh no, we wanna say items end even. That's not really items end, to be honest. Because there's a certain Y padding. Let's make this 2. Okay, so let's do that for each one. So, okay, which is 2, and these items gonna all be end. End. Okay, certain text is interesting. They are on different heights. I'm not sure why. It's a bit strange. Let me see what's going on. Okay, there is a certain padding here. And also for this one. Right? Let me go here. Okay, this one is pretty. Okay, so what I basically need to do, I do need to do item center in that case instead of item end. Let's see. Nah. Okay, so it is end. That's so strange. That is not consistent. I've never seen that before. It just completely ignores the fact. I've never seen that. That the text completely ignores the fact. That means that every padding should be different. That is freaking annoying. What does it say? White space, no wrap. Let me see if that's the issue. Maybe I should delete all of these. Actually, I should not, but let's see if that solves an issue. It doesn't. Okay. Hey bro, how are you doing? What's up? I think I know what's the issue. Mm, the first issue is that it's ignoring the padding here. So I want to know if it's actually inside. Okay, so that's the third one. And that's the fourth one. So it is inside. I think we should completely drop the flex then, in that case. Let's see if we can do something about this. Is that the issue? That's not the issue solved. Uh, let's get rid of the padding. Let's see what happens. Okay, so each padding is different. So what it's doing wrong is it is not a pair of two. So it is an let me see. Oh, it is. It is a pair of two. But maybe not so good idea. Because there's a certain gap, maybe? Let's remove the gap for a second then. Okay, where's the gap here? Mm, okay, if there's no gap, then it's not the issue. But just in case, just so confused by it, to be honest. Okay, that issue is solved. Let's put a max width on every one of them. So let's come here. I'm not sure what the width is going to be, but I'm going to just do 22 pixels. Let's see. Okay, that's way too small. I would say it's even double. Yeah, I can do padding if I want to. Let's do padding. Padding X4. There's already padding going on. I see. I'll remove that soon. It's padding 5. Okay, and then I can decrease the gap. Let's move these ones. Okay. Um, yeah, let's make another one first. What the hell? Doesn't it fit? Oh, because yeah, I know why it doesn't fit. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Okay. Uh, how about this one? Okay, and that one can actually grow more. Let's say, oh, I would say this is 180 maybe. Mm, let me think about it. I think the last two ones can have a P bottom of 1. Or, yeah, let's see. Let's see. It's not my favorite way to do things. Okay, that pushes us off of the middle. Mm, let's see. Better. Okay, let's do that then. Okay. Now, there's a couple things I need to do. I need to push that somehow better, and that's because of the grid. The grid has certain stuff going on. See, it's the first one. Okay, now the end was fine. Um, Let me see. I'm thinking about it. What is pushing it down? We have div. We have this one. Relative, call start 1, background right. Weight is 380 pixels, height is 290. Is that a problem? Okay, it doesn't fit. That's the problem. Um, Let me see where it is. Okay, we can do it another way. We can also say MP bottom is gonna be 60 pixels. Maybe something like this. Uh, yeah, for the this one for the grid. Let me see. Maybe instead of that, let me see where it is. It should be closer to each other. I think we can achieve that with I think we can achieve it with extra. Not this one. I need to do py. Yeah, so py 60. Let's see how it looks. Not sure if this is possible. It doesn't respond because of this one. Doesn't respond. What if I do this? And am I really thinking about the wrong direction? Interesting. So, okay, so that's not the issue. Is there something else I can do? Let me see. Not really. thing is, it's that it's respecting each other. That should not be. So what we can do, I don't want to do that, to be honest. I think it's best if we just push down this one. Also, what the hell? Uh, okay, this is the div. This is the p, which is also a div, which is this one. So we can say relative, and we're gonna say top 20 pixels. Let's see how it looks. Okay, and then we can make the last one a little bit higher, like 220. Okay, yeah, that fucks it up. No, that's fine then. I know what to do about that, but I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, I think this is fine. Okay, so we have a little bit of an issue here. I think this is a good case of for ChatGPT. So let's go here. Let's go to okay. Um, okay. This is a Fabrica. I think this is the most difficult one so far I've worked on. And we are going to say, okay, I'm not sure where the typing is. I want the SVG to be on top of the white background, but below the text. Also, it should not overflow. So again, the SVG should also be inside the white block. Let's see what ChatGPT can do about this, or whatever it is. I think it's Gemini. So yeah, pretty almost done for today. Okay, let's see. Okay, the positioning is fine. I'm just not happy the way things are. Left 40%. Oh, that's the wrong. Oh, don't tell me. Okay, I think it's this one. Okay, SVG influx. I said I don't want that. Okay, so I want it to come from the top right. Okay, I'm just gonna let it be. Okay, let's see. This is not top right, but I'm fine with this. It's fine. Something different, right? Alright. So it looks pretty okay now. I'm very happy with this result so far. Actually, it matches this one. I like that. Should have done this before. We work on this spacing a little bit later. It's cleanup work. So let's close this one. Good job, AI. See, you can see how AI can be very useful, right? So yeah, this one is here. We have these ones here. We adjusted this one. Now we have this circle here. We have this lady here, right? It all matches, right? It all matches. So we're gonna work on the animations later. It's not the most important part right now. So yeah, next stream we're gonna work on this one. We have a couple of use states here, so that's gonna be pretty interesting. We're gonna first make use states, and later on we're gonna use stuff stand. So yeah, if you wanna compare what happened here, let me put out the flex, so you can. This is mine. This is the one from someone else, and this is mine. So it's very close. We'll work on the spacing and the spacing soon, but yeah. Now you might think, where's the blur coming from? Well, the blur is coming from um, a fixed set here on the screen, just like a navigation bar. But then on the bottom, we're gonna work that on a little bit later. It's not top priority right now. So yeah, you've seen some advanced CSS, right? And you can see things are coming along well, right? We also have like a toggle bar and those kind of stuff. It's not responsive yet. We did not work on responsibility. You can do it immediately, obviously, but I don't feel like doing it. So there's no responsive at the moment. But that is something we can work on a little bit later, right? It's not, this is the only responsive part, I think. Yeah, so. Alright, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment if you want to see me make 607 years, and I will see you until the next stream, which will be tomorrow.